Hey, tonight we travel beyond the noise of our modern world, to the sound of wind across endless grass, of hooves pounding the steppe, of a life bound to the saddle. Tonight, you are a soldier under the eternal blue sky, called by the will of Genghis Khan. So, before we begin, dim your lights, take a breath, and let your body ease into stillness. Let the day fall away, and your mind drift gently to another time, another land. You are born into the wind. There are no cities where you live, no stone roads or bells that chime the hour, just the vast openness of the steppe, endless and moving, alive in a way only a horseman can understand. Your father teaches you to ride before you can read. Your mother teaches you to track the sky before you know how to pray. You live by the fire, by the bow, by the stories told under stars. And then, one day, the writer comes. He brings no scroll, no royal seal, just a horse lathered with sweat and a face you do not know. He names you. He names others. There are no questions, only the wind and the nod of your father. You do not speak much that night. There is nothing to say. You are going, because that is what you were born to do. Your father sharpens your knife and straps it to your hip. Your mother ties red wool around your wrist. A knot of protection, she says. You press your forehead to her shoulder and feel her grip tighten around you. At dawn, you ride. There are others, boys, mostly. Older men who once fought in smaller wars. Some wear wolfskin, some wear nothing but stitched leather and furs. All quiet. All waiting. The camp is large. Larger than anything you've seen. Rows of gurs, black smoke coiling from their chimneys, and warriors everywhere. The men of the Khan, they say. Trained by his sons, hardened by the winter and the sword. Your training begins not with a weapon, but with your horse. You're told, a Mongol is not a man, he is a horse and man together. So you live with your mount. You learn to sleep lightly, eat while riding, guide the reins with your knees, while firing arrows at full gallop. You are taught to butcher your own wounded horse with honor, and to stitch its hide into armor if needed. There is no sympathy, but there is teaching. Your instructors are lean, sharp men, some scarred, some silent, all watchful. They show you how to string a bow in snow, how to kill without a sound, how to listen for wind and distant hoofbeats. You bleed, you bruise, you rise. You are no longer a boy. One night, an old warrior sits beside you. His hair is iron gray, and his eyes have seen 1,000 deaths. He doesn't ask your name. He only says, the Khan doesn't need heroes. He needs men who survive. You remember that more than any lesson. Then the banners rise. You ride east. Toward rebellion. The first war is swift. A tribe refuses to kneel. The Khan commands obedience, and the horde responds like a wave. Fast, without mercy, you are placed on the right flank. You do not ask why. You obey. The signal comes at dawn, a sharp cry and the gleam of metal in sun. You charge. Your heart pounds like the hooves beneath you. Your bow is in your hand before you think. You loose arrows. You see men fall. Some try to run. You do not chase them far. By noon, it's done. They surrender. Some are brought into the Khan's fold. Others are given to the judgment of his captains. You do not watch. You drink water. You clean your knife. You hold your horse's muzzle and breathe with it. This is war, you're told. When done right, it is quick, efficient, a lesson to others. You ride again, but this time west, further than you've ever dreamed. You cross rivers wide as valleys, climb jagged mountains where the air bites your lungs. You arrive in places with towers and gates, and people who wear silk and speak words you do not understand. They resist. And now, war becomes something else. You siege a city called Nishapur. Its walls are high, its warriors many. You are kept back from the first wave. Too green, they say. You are to wait, to support, to learn, but no one teaches how to watch a friend die. Arrows fall like rain. A boulder crushes a cart of supplies. Fires bloom in the dark. The screams are everywhere, and yet somehow you move. You repair what breaks. You carry water. You hold down a wounded man as his leg is taken from him. You do not cry. ... You do not sleep. You survive. The siege lasts weeks. The hunger grows. The rats are gone. You chew dried meat, then your own leather. Then the gates fall. You do not rush in. You are ordered to hold position, to let others finish what began. Afterward, you enter what's left. The smell is thick. Smoke, blood, burnt silk. You find a single shoe in the dust, small and bright green. You do not know why, but it stays with you. You keep it in your pouch, tucked beside your mother's red thread. When you return to camp, they give you silver, a token of victory. You place it in the fire. You do not want it. And then, silence. Months pass in winter's hush. You patrol small villages. You sharpen blades. You replace arrows. You mend your horse's saddle and teach new recruits how to ride in shifting winds. One boy reminds you of yourself. Before Nishapur, before that shoe, you do not speak much. But one night you show him how to hold his knife in the dark. When the next call comes, it's different. Not a war. Not yet. A campaign, north, toward strange mountains and lakes that shimmer under a red sun. This one is quiet. Almost too quiet. Villages fall without fight. Chiefs surrender and are spared. The Khan rides among you, distant but present. You see him once, atop a white horse. His expression unreadable, his eyes sharp as cut obsidian. The people in this land bring gifts: meat, salt, milk. They kneel. They live. This, they say, is the easiest war. There is no glory in killing what surrenders, but there is rest, and that too is needed. You rest. You play knucklebones by the fire. You sleep with your horse's warmth beside you. You dream, not of blood or smoke, but of your sister's singing and the way snow sounds when it falls on wool. The boy you taught becomes sharper. You see him strike true in practice, speak less, sleep more, and then you dream of Nishapur and wake with your fingers clenched. War comes again, this time in the far south. Heat, like breath from a dragon. Hills of stone. Enemies in layered armor, with shields tall as men. They do not run. They do not kneel. This war lasts longer than any before. You fight for months. Hills, valleys, rivers, again and again. Your horse is wounded and replaced. You eat dates and bitter roots. You lose 2 fingers on your left hand and learn to draw with 3. You watch the boy. Now, a man, fall beside you. An arrow to the neck. He does not speak, just stares at the sky as if waiting for something. You close his eyes and bury him with the red thread from your wrist. You ride back from that campaign thinner, quieter. You have nothing to say to those who ask. But you take up your knife again. You sharpen it. You teach the next boy. Because this is the rhythm now. War. Silence. Memory. You are not a legend. You are not a hero. You are a survivor. And survivors ride again. Because the Khan calls, and the wind does not wait. Hey, don't move yet. The air is still full of dust, and your limbs are too heavy to trust. Breathe in slowly. Feel the ground beneath you. You survived the storm, but the world around you has changed. Now you are a soldier from a land the Mongols have crossed into. Not a king, not a general, just a man with a blade, and a city behind him. Tonight we drift into your story. A quiet one, laced with fear and resolve. A story of fire, earth, and what remains after everything is taken. You were not born to war. Your earliest memories are of olive trees and stone walls warmed by sun, a courtyard where water spilled from a marble mouth, and your mother's song drifted from the kitchen window. You were going to be a stonemason, like your father. The cuts in his hands were always white, not like wounds, but like truths. He taught you to carve lions from limestone. You taught your younger brother how to draw them in sand. There were whispers now and then of raiders to the east. Nomads, some said. Restless riders, but they were far. So far that their stories felt like the wind, strong for a moment, then gone, and then they came. Not one tribe, not 10, but a tide. You see them before you hear them, like shadows on the far horizon. Dust trailing behind them, endless and slow. They arrive like nightfall, quietly, then completely. Your city closes. Its gates. The soldiers are called. You are given armor you've never worn, and a spear you barely know how to hold. You do not panic. Not yet. There's too much to do. The streets are lined with oil jars. Arrows are gathered. Stones are stacked. You're told, wait, watch, defend. And so you wait. The siege is not like battle. It is slower, hungrier, louder in the quiet moments than in the roars. You sleep in short stretches, curled behind the parapet. You wake to the sound of drums from the enemy camp. You eat whatever is left, dried figs, boiled grain. You drink from a well that grows shallower each day. Your brother is a runner. He carries messages between towers. He is only 15, but faster than most. He wears your old sandals and ties them high with red cord. You joke that he'll outrun the arrows. He smiles when you say it. He doesn't when they catch him. You don't see it happen, but you see the body, carried down in silence, his eyes still open. That night, you bury your blade in stone, again and again, until it won't hold an edge. A priest gives you a new one, not sharper, but steadier in the hand. The walls hold for 29 days. On the 30th, they breach, not with a crash, but with fire. The gate burns from within, and the enemy pours through like smoke. You fight in the alleys, on stairwells, on rooftops. You are not trained for this, but you know your city. You know where to move, where to trap, where to fall back. You fight like a stone fights the river, slowly eroded but stubborn. By dusk, the city falls. You do not fall with it. You escape, with only a handful of others, farmers, monks, blacksmiths, who can still swing hammers. You carry nothing but what you wear and what you remember. You travel west, through charred fields, abandoned villages. Every town you pass whispers of what you already know. The Khan's men are coming. You do not cry. There is no time. You rebuild, not the city. That is gone, but a camp. a plan, a purpose. You are not the same man who carved lions from stone. You are not the boy who feared the wind. You are now a scout, a teacher, a blade that watches instead of waits. One night, you come across a group of wounded riders. Mongol, but young. One sees you and raises a hand weakly. You could strike. You don't. You offer water. He drinks, staring at you like he's forgotten what kindness looks like. You leave before the others wake. War returns, as it always does. This time, you are not defending a city. You are defending a valley, your last line before the sea. You help set traps, fell trees across narrow paths, dig pits and cover them with leaves. You teach new fighters where to strike armor, where to hide from arrows. When the riders come again, you see them clearly. Their horses are leaner, their banners darker, their pace slower. You wonder if they are tired too. The first skirmish is quiet. A few arrows, a retreat. They are testing. You do not give chase. The second attack is harder. You lose a friend, the last one who knew your brother's name. You bury him with your old knife. The third is the worst. You fight beneath a thunderstorm, rain soaking leather and blood alike. You slip, you rise, you swing. You are no longer afraid of death, only of silence. At dawn, the riders pull back, and for the first time in years they do not return the next day. You sit on a boulder, soaked, shivering, but alive. Someone hands you a cup of broth. You drink. It tastes like memory. There is no celebration, only breathing, only the shared glance between those who have seen too much. You sharpen your blade, mend your tunic, and wait, because war does not end. It only sleeps. Like you now. So let your breath soften, let the fire die low. You are no longer running. For tonight, you rest, and the wind carries your silence across the hills.